Yeah, we see they are corrupted as we see. So we got to make sure that we understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? But now we see the Ukraine president, uh, I think his name is Vladimir Mira or whatever his name is, Zelensky. Hate to mess up the man's name, but this is a ghetto edition. You better understand where I'm coming from because we keep it to the ground level. I don't know what else y'all are doing. You know what I'm saying? We call for peace. He calls, Mr. Zelensky calls for peace in their video address on Saturday, warning that Russia will suffer for generations from effects from the war. Yeah, so he's willing to take that chance, as we see. I want everyone to hear me now, is what Mr. Zelensky is saying, especially in Moscow. The time has come for a meeting, for a meeting it is time to talk, Zelensky said, according to the Ruka or Reuters or whatever news level it is. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go with what we got. And the Hill news or whatever, you know what I'm saying, coming out of their camp. You know what I'm saying? We see this is by Mr. Lex. This is by Lex Lonas. You know what I'm saying? Giving him a good reporting on this story. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Belinsky said he wants everyone to hear him now, especially in Moscow. You know what I'm saying? According to the news, their news. You know what I'm saying? The time has come to restore territorial integrity and justice for Ukraine. Otherwise, Russia loses loses or otherwise Russia losses will be such that it it will take several generations to recover, he added in his speech, which he is 100% right. Because when we look at different countries, we look at countries based on who's talking from that country on the international scale. Such as whenever we see Russia, like if we live over here in Suffolk County or wherever we live at, we don't see Russians. We don't speak with Russians. We don't drink coffee with Russians. We don't have a discussion with Russians. All we see is Putin. You see what I'm saying? Some of us may know Russian people or so on, but they don't associate with black people as well. You see, because there's a lot of racism. Like I said, we don't all have to live in each other's house, but we do all live on the house that we call the planet Earth. So for all ones to be ruling over another and all this garbage that went on prior, we must let go of that garbage and we must make amends to make sure that we move on. It is not about revenge. My black powerness is not about revenge. It's about the correction of the world. Because if you ask the question, what was Martin Luther King saying? He so-called claim he was fighting for same rules for Malcolm, and he wasn't talking just about for black people. He was talking for all oppressed people. But of course, because he was a black man, and the black man had a problem in America that was deep, as on the level of what we know. You know what I'm saying? He speaks for his people first. And that's right. You know what I'm saying? Same as Mr. Zelensky is doing for the Ukrainians. The Ukrainian president warning comes as fierce fighting by his country, military and civilians who have taken up arms to defend their land that 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 has slowed the Russian advance. Now Russia needs to understand that. You know what I'm saying? You expect the people to be there chilling, doing their thing, and all of a sudden you just decide to run up on them. That's like somebody, you know what I'm saying, run up on New York City and just try to start the bombing and killing and taking over. Now I'm saying, you think the New Yorkers gonna stand by and just let that happen? They're gonna take up arms against the fight, and that's right, and we must do that. But they see, in every fight, there is a level of understanding of what we would call chaotic behavior, because there is no law to govern within that law. But we must understand that if one organizes in this fight, one must stand firm based on the fact of the fight. You cannot have a few over here going anarchical and raping and killing the women and taking and jewelry and laughing and drinking the wine of the swine. You know what I'm saying? We have to make sure that every one of the troops and every New Yorker that is fighting this war must be on the level of fighting and must protect life as a whole. And that goes for the women, the young men, on that can fight, and those that be protected, and the children, grandparents, and so on. You know what I'm saying? These things must be upheld and obtained to be, 100 in itself. You know what I'm saying? Not chaotic. Cut that shit out. You know what I'm saying? The Ukrainian president is saying that. You know what I mean? The U.S. defense officials include Pentagon Chief Lloyd Austin have stated that, Russia forces have made several missteps in their attack of Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? Assuming that they would be able to take the country in a short amount of time, which we know would not happen. Now I'm saying, because they won't put up a fight as anyone else would. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to make sure we understand these things are very overstandable that we must understand. No country is going to sit there and just let you beat them to the dust. You know what I'm saying? They did this in Africa, and I can't believe some of the African kings that allowed this garbage to take place in Africa at all. So we must now start to look at these leaders sideways. You know what I'm saying? Until we get this 100% on the game. You know what I mean? So we see. Yeah, so we see, you know what I mean? So we must come up with some things. But Lloyd Austin says it, and it's about time, you know what I'm saying? Russia has, really done something that I see has a lot to do with the Biden administration and the garbage in which they have done in order to bring this about, you know what I'm saying? And we watching the amount of chaos that they have surmounted. You know what I'm saying? They continue to surmount them by all means and all forms. Full attack basically on a lot of things. And like I said, the common people a lot of times are not all caught up in the political understanding of the games that they play. But the political understanding is rules and regulations of government that comes down on the people's head, and now the people have to, abide by what they say. You know what I'm saying? So we have to start taking more understanding as to who we elect and put into office and keep into office. You know what I'm saying? With these long, long years of them sitting there doing nothing but garbage and chaotic moves. And when it comes to certain things, they do not fulfill their word. And I want the restitution for, and I'm calling on the United States government to give back to the African people and black people as a whole what you have destroyed in their lives, and make restitution for the many, many, many hundred years that you have put this garbage down, because you didn't have a lot of time, but you did a lot of garbage in a short period. You know what I'm saying? But Russia, when we look at it, Russia has also been, hit hard by, crippling economic sanctions from the United States. You know what I'm saying? And it and its Western allies since its decision to invade Ukraine on February 24th. You know what I'm saying? Um, but Russia gonna have to understand that if you're going to play ball in the game, then you might have to back down on what you are doing. You know what I'm saying? Because, I understand you might be protecting your territory and your rule, or whatever my friend Putin may have, and I don't know, and I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But he should understand, as man, the man on any ground, that, if you want to switch this thing to a better light, you might want to, you know, keep your position and negotiate and keep your position and negotiate and come to the table and stop pushing your aggression. As we see, you have already shown your destruction. You know what I'm saying? The sanctions have been targeted at Russia's banks. You know what I'm saying? Russian President Vladimir Putin, himself, itself, and wealthy Russians with ties to Ukraine, the United to the Kremlin, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? the United States also recently banned imports of Russian oil. You know what I'm saying? And they need to ban more to bring them to the table. In addition, you know what I'm saying, dozens of large private US, you know what I'm saying, companies, you know, such as McDonald's and Apple, you know what I'm saying, suspended have suspended or completely shut down operation in Russia in response to its war in Ukraine. Putin come to the table. Stop playing around. We know nobody wants to sit here and watch you murder hundreds of millions of people in Ukraine. We don't need that genocidal, chaotic garbage y'all do like you did in Africa. You see, because the black experience is everyone experiences. This is what they never told their children. The black experience is everyone's experiences. You know what I'm saying? They all have been through some form of garbage. Now, we must come to the table because ain't nobody got time for all of that. You know what I'm saying? My man, General Sarah Sudi, already done put a little band-aid on them sores that you have open. You know what I'm saying? And also for even the Cro-Magnon, you know, white man. You know what I'm saying? He has also given you information that you need to really look at that shows more than full evidence that you can look up to where you can get a better grip whether you like it or not. Because even if he talks about my people, sometimes the general has a tendency to cut through, you know, your heart. You know what I'm saying? But that lash is worth every word he says. So, same for white people, same for many other races too. We have the common people amongst you that have been influenced by these people in order to do what you do. So we must now come to an understanding. You know what I'm saying?